All right, so this is a short little tutorial about how to use the Shaper tool in Illustrator and how you can create overlapping shapes like this very, very quickly. As you can see, if I hit my preview, the shortcut is Command Y or Control Y. The shapes are independent. You can actually, they are grouped right now. They are all broken apart, kind of thing. So how do you do this? So it's very, very simple. First, I'm going to scoot it over. I'm going to create a rectangle. So I'm going to make it black and white so we can see it. Just make a big rectangle like this. Very simple shape. And I'm going to increase the size of the weight. I'm pressing and holding my Shift key to go 10 at a time to make it really thick. And then go with my direct selection tool and use the chamfer tool right there, you know, those little targets right there. And I'm just going to go all the way to the maximum right there. So that rounds my corners right there. Perfect. I'm going to rotate it 45-degree angle. So just rotate and then press again my Shift key so it snaps to 45-degree angle. And I'm going to right click on it. I'm going to go transform, reflect, and then in my reflection right here, I make sure that this is preview right there so I can see where it's flipping it around, but also do a copy of it. So just like that, it creates a copy very quickly. So I have my shapes that has been reflected perfectly on the center and copied over. So it looks like a kind of like a hashtag pretzel kind of thing. At this point, again, in my preview, it's just a stroke. So I'm going to keep that one on the side and I'm going to duplicate that one right there. And I'm going to have both selected right there, and I'm going to go under Object and Expand Appearance right there. So expand the fill, the stroke, everything, perfect. So now they're like big, thick fill, right? So this is a stroke, as you can see right here, and then this is a fill. So those are filled objects. Again, preview, stroke, and a fill. What I want to do now is I want to, copy that one over again, duplicate that one right on top of it. That's going to snap. Perfect. I'm going to make sure that it's above, so arrange, bring to front, and I'm going to get rid of my stroke altogether right here. So this is basically what it looks like right now. So I'm just going to show you quickly. So it's just overlapping like this, right? So I want to get rid of the stroke because it's just going to be simpler later on. And I'm going to select only the ones that are at that angle, so the two shapes that are overlapping, the stroke and the fill in the back, and go into my Pathfinder panel right here, which is also accessible from my properties, and I want to hit the divide button right here. And what that does is, doesn't look like much, but now if I ungroup them, sorry, I have to ungroup them right there. What that did is just it splits the objects basically. You have the center and you have the outer rim. So I'm going to do the same thing here quickly. Again, right here, divide, ungroup, and then now I have my inner and my outer, right? Next, just to have a different color so we can see what we're doing, I'm just going to put it in green like this. You can see that if I select all that stuff and put a color to it, there's also a center piece right there. So that's from the dividing. So it created a path. So I want to select that one right there and then delete it like this. So at this point, what I want to do is I want to use the Shaper tool. I'm going to make that one a slightly different color right there. So I want to create basically interlocking shapes. So if I select them all like this, you have to select them all, and you go with your Shaper tool right here, the Shaper Builder tool, sorry. And what I want to do is I want to, as you can see, it highlights them into gray right there. So all I want to do is I want to just merge all of those together. So I just click and drag over all those shapes, and it merges it together. So I do the same thing here, those guys right there, and then I have that one shape right there. So it looks like it's wrapping behind and right there. So for this shape right here, I'm just going to merge those and then merge those. So now I can use my tool right there to show you that this stops right here. right? And then this one stops right there. So this one, these ones I could probably do a different color just for demonstration right here. Right, so I'm just using the eyedropper tool quickly. So just want to show you guys that. So now I'm going to do the same thing, but on the other side, again with all of those pieces that I select. I want to make sure that I have all of them selected. I press and hold my spacebar so I can see all my anchors. You know, and looks like it's all selected. Oh, whoops, no, I missed it. So I'm just going to select all of those, and I'm going to press and hold Shift and then select all. So this is what I have as a selection. Again, shaper tool, and again merge those, and then merge those shapes and merge those shapes right there. So now I have that shape together, different color right here, and then that shape together right here. So all I have to do here, as for example above, is add some gradients. So again, I pick the lighter blue right here, and I apply a gradient. And I make sure with my gradient tool right here that I just drag it either at a 45 or let's say 90 degree right here, for example. And I do the same thing with the inner shape right there. Select both of the inner shape. I apply the same gradient, but I reverse it. I go from the bottom up, so it looks like it's a 3D shape basically. So I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to apply the same gradient, but I'm going to change the color. Let's make it orange, and for some reason it didn't do that. What's going on? Work with me. Nope. Oh yeah, that's why. That's why I forgot to make all of them out as one gradient first. Sorry about that. I forgot this. There you go. You have to make sure all of your objects are one gradient. And then you can go into a gradient and you can mess around with it. It doesn't want to do that today. It just did it earlier and now it doesn't want to do it. So select those shapes again, apply the same gradient, and those shapes, and apply that gradient. But again, I'm going to make that one gradient going the other way around. Oh yeah, I forgot to change that color so it's not as ugly as it looks. There you go. So I'm going to pick those colors with the eyedropper tool, change my angle, and voila. So it looks like you have created a Celtic knot out of just very, very basic shapes like this, very, very quickly. I just had a little struggle with the gradient tool here, but basically that's what it does. You start with a rectangle, you round the corners, you expand it, you overlap it, you divide it with your Pathfinder, and voila.